All right, y'all. So this first guy is James Griffune. James Griffune, for those of you who did not watch the trial, was Samantha Woll's neighbor. He testifies and originally told the police on October 22nd when he spoke to them that he was outside during the time of 1:20 to 1:24 a.m. Now, he claims during that time that he heard screaming. And on October 22nd, he believed that the screams that he heard was the murder of Samantha Woll. Now, he also says that he didn't do anything about it. And you'll hear all of that. I'll play that for you. But let's contrast that, the fact that he did nothing about it. Let's contrast that with Michael Jackson Bolanos coming across an already deceased Samantha Woll and touching her neck, realizing that she's deceased, and being like, oh shit, this person's already deceased. I need to get the fuck out of here. So, in my opinion, what is the difference between Michael Jackson Bolanos coming across her already deceased, doing nothing about it, and deciding that he should leave, and James Griffune being outside, hearing what he believed were screams that he believed were Samantha Woll, and he believed that was at the time of her murder, and also doing nothing about it? So let's go down this line of testimony. Let's go on ahead and play this for you.
Now, just to be clear, you indicated that you believe you went outside at approximately 1:20-ish?
I woke up at around 1:20. I was probably outside, put my shoes on, that sort of thing. 1:21, 1:22, 1:23,
okay.
1:24.
So you went...
Okay, so that's him giving the timeline for you of when he was outside. And again, you're going to hear him talk about how he felt after he heard these screams. So let's get into that.
Yes, thank you. And you also told them you felt guilty, did you?
No.
You did? You didn't say you felt guilt and you felt callous the last 24 hours? You didn't say that?
Callous?
Callous, yes. That you've been feeling callous the last 24 hours.
One of my wonderful neighbors had been murdered. Like, if I said that to it was a horrible, horrible day. I mean, all of my neighbors were just...
Okay.
I mean, you have to understand, sir, it was horrible.
I understand. I mean, I'm not disputing that. I'm asking you a very specific question on whether or not you told the officers that you felt callous.
I honestly...
Because you did not investigate further. You told them that.
Oh, no. I felt no instigation to investigate. If it had been, like, I would have felt, if I'd heard something that made me think it was somebody being hurt, I would have felt that way. And maybe you're mischaracterizing what I told the officer. I said if I heard something that sounded like somebody being murdered, I would have felt horrible. Okay. But I didn't hear something that sounded like anything other than someone really bored talking into a megaphone.
Okay, so you didn't. Okay, and when you spoke to the officers, were you aware that the officers were equipped with body-worn camera?
I spoke to many officers, and I don't know if the detectives, because they were like wearing like street suits or whatever. But there was a Detroit police officer who was working with the task force, who I talked to in a car. And then I also talked to some state investigators later. I don't know who was wearing cameras and who wasn't.
Okay, the first officer you spoke with, were you aware that they were wearing the body-worn camera?
I know that the first officers I spoke with, no.
Okay. If you were to see yourself on a body-worn camera, would you be able to identify yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to play his body-worn camera, and you're going to hear what he said.
And just for the record, sir, you recognize yourself?
That's me.
Okay.
Oh, you do this thing? Or
Yes.
You just go back inside?
No, I mean, I might have... this is where I've been...
After the spring, how much longer did you stay outside?
A couple of minutes. And again, it wasn't like I felt like
incredible guilt. This could last 24 hours. Like, I wish I would have gone down there. But I didn't. You know, like, I'm that callous, I guess, at this point. Like, it didn't sound to me like I never heard the word help or anything like that. And having been down here for as long as we have, I felt callous and like it's not my problem. And I've been feeling shitty about that for 24 hours or more now.
Well, if you're in it.
Well, that's him telling a lie on the stand. He also goes on to talk about the fact that it's not his business whatever is going on with his neighbors.
It's no joke what the amount of noise that passes through these walls. Like, they're about this thing. So we are up in each other's business all the time in this neighborhood. So my assumption is not only just it's not my problem, is if somebody were to need help, I'm all the way down here and there's like, I've got 140 neighbors that are way closer. You know, but I'm also like, now I'm thinking like, well, nobody's up at 1:40 in the morning, you know?
Sir.
You hear him say right there that nobody's up at 1:40 in the morning. So he's indicating that at 1:40 in the morning, he had already heard these screams. Okay. But you'll hear him here go back to saying that he did feel guilty because if there was anything that he could have done to help, and then he kind of trails off. But listen.
This voice say, don't whatever it is, 3 times in a row. The same.
Like a chant, yeah.
Chant.
I don't know if I used the word chant with police, but that's what I remember.
Okay. But yeah, to be clear, you didn't tell the police you thought it was some type of chant. It was, in your opinion, something that was out of the ordinary, correct?
Well, like you said, 3 things in a row over and over, but which wasn't out of the ordinary, yeah. Okay. In an amplified way, like through a PA speaker.
Could have been like, don't hit me?
No, couldn't have been.
Okay. But you felt something in your heart enough that you felt guilt on not investigating further.
So
correct?
Our neighborhood is the kind of place where people still help each other. And I wanted, like, I did feel guilt.
Okay.
Because
thank you.
if there was anything I could have done to help. Your Honor, he's characterizing me as feeling guilty.
Stop, please. He answered his questions. Now, the prosecutor gets to ask you more questions, okay?
And you also told the officer at a different time during that interview that we just saw that you felt guilty and you were hoping that the murder didn't happen around the time you heard the scream. You said that, didn't you?
Well, of course.
Okay,
Of
thank
course
you.
that's true, yes.
Okay, thank you. And you also stated that this voice sounded like someone was mad. Not a chant. You said somebody was mad, correct?
Are you speaking about my direct testimony or to the police officer?
To the police officer. You told the police officer that it sounded like somebody was mad.
I'm trying to remember. If I said that, I said that, but that's not how I remember it now.
It's not how you remember it now.
Yeah.
Would you say that your memory was better on October 22nd, 2023, or today about this incident?
Well, I mean, my memory was also colored by the trauma of what had happened in my neighborhood. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand that, sir.
Okay.
You would agree that your memory would have been better on October 22nd, 2023, about what you heard the night before than it is today on June the 13th of 2024.
I see what you're saying.
Would you agree to that?
I agree to that, yes.
Okay.
So my takeaway from James Griffian is that he lied to the police when he changed his story later on and said that he doesn't believe that he heard the murder of Samantha Woll because he felt guilty that he didn't do anything about it when he actually heard it. Guys, he told a lie. So what's up?